Hello. How you guys doing? Hope everyone is having a great night, evening, morning, afternoon, or whatever's happening throughout your day. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're moisturizing. I hope that you're not playing with your asshole. So today I wanted to speak about the state of rivals, but not the game itself. More so how the community interacts with this game and how the community basically gets how certain parts of the community basically gets favoritism, and how a big problem that is still plaguing this game's player base to this day, and that is solo tanking. Now, Cyclops just released new character. He's gonna be strong. He's gonna be great. He is great. He is strong. Has high damage. Has great mobility. And even has an ult that is around about close to 100 meters. And if you are in a small corridor, it can explode both on top and at the bottom. So pretty strong ultimate. He came out the gate swinging, pretty strong, really great. But in his arrival, they have taken out Devil Dinosaur and they've shot him in the back of the head. Now, I wanted to speak about these balance changes because they also coincide with the solo tanking problem. So, when Devil Dinosaur was released, a lot of pros in the scene and stuff came out, and they started complaining about him. They started saying that this is not good for the game, he's too strong, he does not die, things like that. They kept on complaining about him, and you know, this community is a bunch of sheep. They follow what their master says, and their master currently is the pro players and people in top 500. So this community is full of sheep and basically peach people, like really just game motherfuckers, in my opinion. They just fall to whatever some popular content creator says, instead of forming their own opinion and anything about it. At one point I was also like, they're just following whatever everyone was saying. But the thing is, you grow out of that mindset the more you try and just figure things out on your own and just play on your own. And when you solo queue, you face a lot of the problems that pro players, a lot of your top content creators and top 500 players and even high elo players don't experience, and that is solo tanking. That is this community's biggest issue at the moment, is solo tanking. So what does this have to do with the nerfs to Devil Dinosaur? Well, it just made Devil Dinosaur a big punching bag at this moment. If you are really good at Devil Dinosaur before, you won't notice these changes. I mean, a 2 second cooldown, a 2 second longer cooldown on your bubble, and a 1% and a literal 2%, I think, yeah, 2% decrease in your bleed buildup. You be like, it's not that much. But when you go from building about 85 overshields to about 45 overshields on Devil Dinosaur, you start noticing where the issues lie and where a lot of the problems are coming from. And this is the problem. Devil Dinosaur had about one good season, and now he's already facing these nerfs. Devil Dinosaur was a tank, and what happened during his season was a lot more people saw a surgence of duo tanking. There was a lot more duo tanks and a lot more people willing to go second tank whenever there was a Devil Dinosaur on the team, or whenever that Devil Dinosaur was open. People were a lot more willing to solo tank because Devil Dinosaur could hold his own in the front line, and he would not just blow up immediately. Obviously, if the entire team counters him, he would just blow up immediately. But it was still fun playing with him because there was ways to work around it. Your bubble shield also helped you a lot. You could take flyers out of the sky. You could just play around a lot. Like, it was pretty simple, but the fun thing about him was that you could survive in the front line. You could actually see the space that you're taking, and a lot of the times you as a tank would be respected when you play as Devil Dinosaur. But now with these nerfs that is coming around to his kit, there is literally, his Devil Dinosaur is going to be facing the same problem Hulk did before they basically buffed Hulk's uptime, and that was, he will explode. He will just blow up. And it's a thing that a lot of people who do not play tank or do not play a lot of tanks will not notice is that whenever you're playing the tank role, you don't really notice it much, but you take too much damage. You take too much damage. When you're playing mag, when you're playing strange, you mitigate damage. You have a shield to mitigate damage, and you basically have a lot of tools to just stop yourself from taking too much damage. So whenever you are playing as a mag or a strange, you're obviously going to be taking a lot less healing than most other tanks. But now when you play a lot of these off tanks, and even dive tanks, you start realizing that they take a lot of healing, they take a lot of damage, they take too much damage, and a lot of times they'll just blow up out of nowhere. And what I mean by that is that there is too much damage in the game to the point where healing is starting to fall off. Healing is starting to fall off, and the biggest perpetrators of this is the DPS role. The DPS role at this point is about 27 characters in the roster. 27 characters in the roster with DPS. And there's only about 15 tanks and about 12 strategists. 15 tanks, 12 strategists, and it includes Deadpool on both of these roles. Now, what makes this a big problem is that since there's been really just a short list of tanks and a short list of strategists, it's been a easier way for everyone to just find counters towards them. Devil Dinosaur, as much as he was hailed for his survivability and his greatness and his ferocity and all of it, he still had counters. He had hard counters, which was poke, and a lot of people play poke, whether it's on console, whether it's on PC. A lot of people play poke, and poke is a lot. Like Devil Dinosaur's head is huge. You just build crit damage off of Devil Dinosaur the entire time. There's Moon Knight, there is literally Punisher, there's literally Star-Lord, there's literally Gene, there's literally, who else is it? Yella, there's Namor, there's who else I am thinking now. There's Bucky. There is so much DPS in a game with projectile and hit scan abilities that just counters him outright. Like these are outright counters. For Phoenix, who builds up sparks, Devil Dinosaur is a great target because whenever a spark blows up on him, it will effectively get the rest of the team, which means that you can just keep on blowing Devil Dinosaur up, just lighting him up. Punisher literally is the shotgun which will take off 4 bars from Devil Dinosaur's health almost immediately, and his AR just does a lot of damage, especially on a target like Devil Dinosaur. Obviously his shield, which everyone was saying was overpowered, is a problem because when you get into the radius, it slows you down and it blocks off healing and everything, but it's 450 health, which means that you can shoot it off before it even gets into you, and obviously your tank is going to get kidnapped, but it's fine. He still had hard counters. There were still ways to get around Devil Dinosaur, and even if you had a one-sided Devil Dinosaur, it is not impossible to win a match, as a lot of these pro players and top 500 players and your favorite content creators, besides a few of them, had been saying. And that's the thing. Also, Wolverine and Blade literally just counter him as well, since they would just build up a lot of their meters off of Devil Dinosaur's body and basically get their damage to a higher scale before Devil Dinosaur would be able to kill them. So, what was all of that yapping about? What was all of it talking nonsense about? What was all of that mouth work for? Solo thinking. Now, this is the main problem with the Rivals game at this moment. Solo tanking. With the nerfs to Devil Dinosaur, he's less survivable. I hope I'm saying that word right. He survives less in the front line. He gets less overshield. It's not like he's doing less damage on his primary or his bites or anything, but the things that kept him alive has been nerfed, and now he's basically going to be a punching bag. His knockdown was removed, his bleed was nerfed, his body barrier got a 2-second cooldown. Like, you would not notice this unless you were Edward Devil Dinosaur player. And that comes to the problem with solo tanking. Devil Dinosaur came in and he wasn't just strong, he was fun. He was great into stuff. He could take out flyers reliably as a tank. He could fight off other tanks, and he could also handle pesky dive from either Magic, Daredevil, and things like that. So he was overall a great tank. But now with these nerfs coming towards him, a lot less people will be willing to pick him up. A lot less people are willing to do tanking now because they realize that the role of a tank is not an easy one. You are in that front line, you are in the trenches, you are doing everything you can to create value, whether it's taking space, whether it's creating space, or whether it's holding that space. But not just that, you're not just taking and holding space, you're also doing your best to get eliminations. You're trying to make openings for your DPS, you're pinning for your healers. And there's a problem with the solo tank, is that a solo tank has to do so much work, so much things that they have to think about, and so much more mistakes that they make. A solo tank cannot be perfect, unfortunately. When you have two tanks, there's less mistakes being made, and if one makes a mistake, the other one is there to pick you up from it. But when you are solo tanking, there is almost no room for mistakes to be made, because when a mistake is made, your strats in the backline would be basically destroyed, and then you are just there feeding enemy alt charge and just being the problem. A lot of games I've played where I've solo tanked, I've lost more than I've won, unfortunately. I could have gone Meg or I could have gone Strange in a lot of those games, but I would be facing off against two frontline tanks, and I would have to basically be peeling, taking space, brawling, and basically just I have to babysit my entire team the entire time. This comes from quick play, this comes from ranked. Whatever you see that is happening in quick play, that is what is happening in people's ranked games. But no one wants to talk about it because everyone wants to have this high opinion of themselves where they think that, oh, ranked and quick play is different. Yes, in terms of how the community treats the two whenever they're playing it, yes, quick play is more fun, it's more casual. It's not just more casual, but it's also where you want to try out new strategies. And obviously when you're going into quick play, if you lose, that's fine, but nobody goes into a game and purposely intends to lose. And when you're going to rank, you are there to win, you want to rank up, and you want to dominate the enemy team. So those are two basically just different mindsets going into it. But when you are seeing the same pattern across both your casual and your ranked experience, the problem now comes through, and that is that there is too much DPS characters in the game. There is too much DPS characters in the game, and all of them have variety amongst themselves. All of them are fun to use, all of them get value easily, and all of them are really strong. Except Mr. Fantastic and who else? And Human Torch. But he's still really strong if nobody's really focusing in him. So I'll just say for now, Fantastic. There's about 27 duelist characters in this game, each of them having their own different type of niche: melee, poke, hit scan, or just projectile, whichever type of roles you want to get there. You would find all of that variety within the DPS role. When you go to tank, there is more off tanks than there is shield tanks. There's about 3 shield tanks, with Emma being an in between. But there is about, how much? Let's see. The rest is just off tanks. You have Penny, you have Groot, then you have Hulk, Thing, and Devil Dinosaur. Brawlers. These are people that stay in the front line and fight a lot of the time. Now you have the dive tanks, which is again Hulk, Venom, Cap. These are people that continuously have to go into the backline to get value because they do not have damage mitigation abilities. Cap does have his shield, but his shield cannot block entire enemy team volleys. That's why he's concentrated on disturbing the enemy and disrupting the enemy's entire backline. Venom, on the other hand, does not have any blocking abilities, so he has to obviously just take on all of that damage, soak it up, and then use his overshields to either continue engaging or just disengage while keeping most of your life intact. So there's just different ways these different tanks play out, but the thing is, those are just the numbers of tanks. That's just it. There's just the variety within the tank role. That's just it. It's brawl, shield, poke, brawl, shield, poke. That's the brawl, shield, poke dive, and there's one character for each of that roles, or two characters for each of that roles in the tank role. The DPS roles is 3 or 4 characters for each. You have the easy to use characters that do really great damage and have great CC, which is Squirrel Girl and Scarlet. Then you have the brawlers, people that get down and dirty in the front line, which is your Mr. Fantastic, and I don't know who else. I haven't played DPS in so long because of solo tanking. But you have your brawlers, which is Mr. Fantastic, Blade, and your who else? Oof, I haven't played DPS in a long time. I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, I for real can't remember shit. When was the last time I played DPS? But I'm just gonna move to the point. There is a lot more variety within the DPS role than there is within the tank role in this game. And it forces people now to be like, I wanna have fun when I play the game. I'ma just go to DPS. Oh, Cyclops released. Oh, I couldn't play Cyclops. It's no problem. I'll play Magic. Oh, I couldn't play my character. They banned Daredevil. It's no problem. I'll play Spider-Man. It's to the point where, as a tank player, I cannot deal with this anymore. I cannot handle all of this. There's too much damage being thrown at me as a solo tank, or even just duo tanks. There's too much damage being thrown at me to the point where I sometimes just want to give up and delete the game. I play other games on the side and everything like that, take my mind off of it, but this is still one of my favorite games. And now whenever I get into the game, I want to play a tank role because I love playing the tank role. But now it's getting to a point where there's so much dual characters in the game that most people will naturally just fall off the tank role and they'll just fill into DPS. There's 27 DPS characters. All of them have different variety. All of them can be used within certain comps. And there's only 15 tank characters. 15 tank characters that are slowly, not even slowly, but quickly getting outshined by the amount of DPS, the amount of damage in this game. And season 5 is just going to make the issue bigger. It's just going to make the problem a lot more worse. It's just going to overinflate the issue. There's not going to be a solution to it. Cyclops just released 27 DPS characters. 27. And your tank characters are just not going to be able to keep up with it anymore. And since I've been playing the season, I'm going to be mainly focusing on rank later on. But since I've been playing the season, I've just noticed that it's not just power creep, but it is just, I don't know, enjoyment creep, fun creep. Nothing is going to save the tank role unless new tanks come to the game and they're actually good. But hopefully, with how the season goes so far, it'll be a rough ride for tank mains. But if we get through it, maybe we'll get a double tank season or a tank in a strategist season, just so we can keep up with the amount of strategist and damage in this game. But for now, I've done my yapping. This was just a quick rant on all of the bullshit that we go through as tanks. Obviously, I could have just done a better job and given like a liquor proper analysis, put some fancy words in between, get my thoughts together. But the thing is, I've been on a loss streak in quick play, and all of it losses I've, and most of it losses I've been solo tanking. I've just been solo tanking every match. I went against a 4 DPS man comp, and they were basically beating the fuck out of us. We, I was solo tanking against 4 DPS and 2 strategists, and so much damage was being flung at me that there was no way for me to mitigate it. Like my healers couldn't keep up with the amount of damage I was taking. So yeah, the whole point of this video was just to express my thoughts on the season and how tanks are just gonna be going through it with this new season in Cyclops being released as well. But again, the same people that were talking a lot of shit about Devil Dinosaur, calling him too strong, wanting him to be nerfed, made weak, and nerfed heavy, are the same people that are very quiet about Cyclops at this moment in time and are all enjoying themselves on it because he's DPS. So there's that. But anyway, if you made it this far into the video, my bro, hope you had a good day, night. If you do want to see more videos like this, just get into the comments and then let me know what you think on everything like that. And then yeah, bro. But until next time, dog, sharp, sharp in a way.